everybody. Welcome to a Team Fortress TV cast of Week 5 Main. We are looking at AG versus Street Hoops, and I'm joined here with Beasley. Beasley, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. This is actually my first North American cast, so I'm kind of excited for that.
Oh,
And
man.
these two teams are pretty freaking good.
So if they park the bus, you're going to know exactly what to do to counter that.
Well, I'm good at that. See, these Europeans, they just do funky stuff like playing heavy and not moving.
Yeah.
And, that's something that we don't do. It's kind of like, the Revolutionary War, where the English would line up and shoot, right? And the Americans came in and said, we're not going to do that. We're just going to come and stab you in the back. And that's, that's the difference. That's how it goes. NAEU scene. And, Ips, I was watching the cast that Ips did earlier, and he said something. He said it was 1-1 because we both won a LAN, at I-49, and I think he's right.
Oh,
So
man.
Europeans are going down. I-52, here we come.
All right. Well, there we are. And I guess we should probably go over these rosters here. And especially because AG has some really, familiar faces to the scene, yet they're off-classing, so it's just kind of interesting. So I guess I'll kind of run down AG here for everyone. For AG, we have the Scout as Blank, who is off-classing. I believe he's normally a soldier. And also, I think he's a little bit out of the game. I mean, he was previously on Mad Men. I guess this whole team is kind of like Mad Men in a weird way, right?
Yeah, this whole team is Mad Men in a way, and it's even, more solidified into existence with Defy on Roamer. Everybody loves Defy.
Yeah.
He's a character and a half. Big Lenny. And let's see him do some work. I've played with him on Metalworks quite a few times, and he's very, very capable, and he's shown in matches that he's capable to, get the job done when he needs to do it. So that's why AG is 7-2. It's not really. Defy is definitely not the only reason why AG is 7-2. They also have a lot of other incredibly good names on their roster.
Yeah, like Blaze playing the other Scout, which is another off-class technique. I mean, Blaze is good at everything, but technically, I would classify this as an off-class. But we know Blaze is very, very good. We know Blank is very, very good. And you mentioned Defy's on Roamer. And on Medic, we have Mike, or maybe we should just refer to him as Healbot now that he's actually playing Medic. We were discussing that earlier. I don't know what I'm going to go with. What are you going to go with?
Well, I'm going to say Healbot. Healbot is what's going to happen. Healbot down is going to be said quite a few times, I think, in this scrim. That is a call out, by the way.
Oh, man. All right, well, and then for demo, we have Joe, who has come a long way, because I first met Joe in a newbie mix, I believe, and these are the newbie mixes when I was running them, so it was a long time ago, and Joe was in there, and he was a noob, and here he is in main being a really good demo, so I'm going to be excited to see how Joe performs, and I'm really looking forward to it. So what can you tell me about Street Hoops?
I can tell you a lot about Street Hoops, actually. They are a UGC Highlander Platinum team, and they're considered, I don't think they're considered at the top of Highlander. I'm not very familiar with the scene, but they are definitely talked quite a bit. Their name's thrown up there with BPM and, the other good teams.
Other Highlander teams I've never heard of?
Yeah, Highlander teams, yeah. And Kozin actually he's gotten so good from the time I played with him a couple seasons ago. It was my first season back, and that was his first season on Medic, and he's just come such a long way, and he finds himself now sitting here leading a team that's 8-1 in main. And,
yeah, so you were talking.
Yeah,
you were talking some big things about Kozin earlier, and I'm wondering, what's the thing that he brings to the table?
You know what? He just has confidence. He's got that confidence that, can lead a team like this, especially when both of your scouts are twins and know each other very well. And you know what? I'm not going to say it, but they just might be sitting there, if something's said, they might look at each other, give them a funny look, and Kozin just reeling them in, and he's Lutsu, their soldier. He's a Frenchman, and he just came over here. So I think he's roaming, right?
Yeah.
Him roaming, Kozin, he's able to micromanage the roaming plays and everything else, and it just all comes together for some beautiful TF2.
Yeah, and so was Kozin a medic in Highlander by chance?
I don't think so. I think he played soldier. He might play medic now. I believe he does play medic in Highlander now.
Huh.
But, I'm hearing from a voice from above that Lutsu is actually pocketing. So
Yeah, correct. And then for Roamer, we have Ash. But like, what I was getting at with Kozen is like, well, which this might not be the case, but like, if you can lead and call for a Highlander team of like, what's Highlander? What, like
25
9,
players.
8, 25 total, whatever.
Yeah, no, 25 on a team.
What? No.
No, that's how it
I don't
feels
believe
when
you.
I play it.
Okay. Well, yeah, how it feels, absolutely. It feels just like it's a, just a pub. And if you can coordinate it like more people than 6, then, when you drop down to 6, maybe, maybe those skills transfer over. But we're starting.
Ooh, we are starting. And like my buddy here, Shwan, said before, this is the 5th week of ESEA-Main. And this is the second match, as we're going to say, I don't know, we're going to count down to 3. And it's live on 3. And here we go. This is the proper rollout. I'm going to be watching Defy on this mid. I know everybody likes to start with demos, but we're going to see some AG regular John action. See what's going on with this as the demo man, they're both pretty even. The rollout here is straightforward, and we're not going to see much speed difference. Actually, the soldiers for AG are pretty slow. That might not mean too much, as Defy's going to try and get around on that right side and jump right in. He catches both scouts with a nice rocket, but he's hurt pretty bad. We see Whooper, that is You Must Mike, Mr. Healbot from this point forward, just healing up his soldiers and taking the ground that they need, as it didn't really look like Street Hoops was able to get into that mid. And,
yeah. I mean,
Joe.
What happened there was, Street Hoops had a really, really good bomb on Joe. They dropped Joe instantly. Joe's their demo. Like, that's a really important part to mid, but they lost their demo and they just pretended like nothing happened, and they, like, Street Hoops still got, Street Hoops just got pushed back into their second for some reason. So, we got to look for trying to a little better on conversions here. But here they are coming down the side.
Yeah, coming up that side. It's better to push the flank side as there's more room to get away. As I say, that basic, their new pocket takes out Lutsu the pocket for Street Hoop, and it looks like AG is going to be able to get in onto this second point without using their Uber. Basic does go down in a little bit of an overextension to those scouts trying to make something happen. The Ubers are there for both teams, and neither team has their pocket, but that 14-second spawn for AG, as it looks like Street Hoop is definitely going to contest this point. They don't want to give it up for free, but they've done just that. They're going to settle to get back. They have that Uber. They don't want to really screw anything up here.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, when you're trying to, Street, I don't know if they're going in. Oh, I think they're going in.
Oh, the madman aggression is what we're seeing right now coming out of AG, and they do force that Uber, but they lose everybody else. From the looks of it, they're going to opt to wait for their spawns and fight on the second point, which is a good play.
Yeah, as they should. I mean, when you go in and you get rid of their Uber and you still have 100%, all you do is wait for spawns to go in. But, Street Hoops isn't going to let that happen. They're going to contest second here.
Right, that cycling of the Uber is exactly what we saw, and it's worked out as they get onto Ash. That Roamer trying to make a play, but that Uber is still there. He got, Mike went down a little bit, but he is the heal bot, and we're going to see a push coming out very soon from the Mudmen. AG Rinkuing, or whatever the hell that means. I have no idea.
And the question is, are they going to pop on that sniper? You mentioned their team's really good at sniping, and there you go. Regular John down.
Ooh, that sniper is able to get a nice headshot on a Defy. That scout Uber comes in from the left side. As I say that, Joe and Basic go down, and it looks like Street Hoops Esports is not going to go down without a fight. And they kill everybody else. Defy went down early to that sniper headshot, so he is an early spawn. Not much to worry about in terms of a back cap.
And it's funny because AG almost still got that last. I mean, that point was really close to being capped, even though Street Hoops was decidedly winning that fight, which is pretty interesting. They got to watch that for next time. It looks like they're going to take mid uncontested here, and looks like AG might set up for a second hold. But we've got a bomb.
Defy forcing the Uber on middle. Very nicely done. Now that's going to give his team the Uber advantage, and they're not able to get any other frags other than Defy. That scout did come in to try and, pop some shot, maybe get a frag off of Defy's damage. But it doesn't matter. It looks like Street Hoops Esports is going to opt to go in on this flank side and push dry. They get 2 picks coming in onto both scouts, so now there are no scouts for AG, but Basic takes out Kozen with a nice meat shot onto him. And it looks like things are going to just settle out as
No.
Mike might just be in no man's land. No, he's not. He's got that crossbow. He's the new crossbow kid. KBK step back. Mike stays alive.
Wow, really good job by Joe there, dismissing those soldiers that were bombing them. I mean, those soldiers from Street Hoops, they bombed and they got 2 kills. And Joe was just there, clean them all up, and Madman still have control. And now they have almost an entire Uber advantage. I mean, Joe did a wonderful job there. That's all you can ask from a demo. And Mike didn't die.
No, Mike did not die. He shot that crossbow at his players, at the enemy, saved it. There's a little sticky trap on the point. Let's see if they spot that. It is spotted by CJ, Mr. Blank, the pocket of mad men of old. And they're going to cap this point pretty freely as they still have that Uber. We're probably going to see a bomb coming out of Street Hoops here, but Lutsu is going to opt to take that ammo under. And we're seeing more aggression coming out of AG as they push right underneath that bridge, or maybe just peek into it. Yeah, they're going to peek it. Blank backs up, and we see them just kind of sitting around in Valley saying, where are we going to go? We're going to go in this alleyway here. Defy comes in with the big bombs, looks at the medic, sees him. Is he able to take him? No, he's not, but he gets the force. And that means that Mike is able to hold on to his Uber as all of AG backs out and stops themselves from going down. Basic's not able to get away. He goes down to Deadbolt. Nice play by him. And now Kozin and his guys are trying to get in there and see what they can do, but they have to be very careful as it looks like, AG has just wrapped around him. They still have that Uber on that second point. This is going to queue. The pop is off, and now all of Street Hoops are in no man's land. As nice flashing coming out of Healbot gets stops that saw, but
Oh, man.
soldiers, Ash and Lutsu come in, clean up everybody, and Mike is in trouble. Ooh,
Wow.
he's able to get away. Yeah, the soldiers come and save him. That's not going to stop the aggression from Street Hoops as they're coming in to take lobby, and that scout is pushing into mid right now. What do you think of all this, Shwan?
Whew. I mean, so many things happen there. I mean, my first reaction is you've got to compliment AG on their discipline. And they did a wonderful job of pushing into mid with an Uber advantage and just forcing them out without even an engagement. That is the typical push that you want. But instead of just going down the throat, down the flank, right into that second point, they postponed and decided to have their demo or have Defy bomb first. Defy did get a pop, but in the time spent doing that, they almost had enough advantage to just go in without that bomb and really do some damage that way. But with that discipline coming into the hand again, oh, here they come. Scouts pushing from under here.
Oh, this is a nice looking Uber coming out of AG as these scouts get in uncontested. Ash goes down to Blade. Joe gets Lutsu, and Skyroll goes down as well. So that's 3 players down for Street Hoops eSports, but Kozin is about to get that Uber, and it looks like Madmen have to get in there and stop him. I said Madmen, I meant
You sure
AG.
did.
But Kozin, like I said, gets that Uber and is able to pop it, but his guys are still not up. They are spawning now. There are some stickies on the point from Joe, so not much point presence coming in from AG. They come in now, but the spawns are up for Street Hoops as Blaze takes out Kozin with some nice pistol action, and Joe is just flying all over the place, surfing rockets. Not much else is going to happen. It looks like Street Hoops going to hold this, but as I say that, Blank takes out Lutsu on that right side, and now that cues another advantage for AG, and I think they want to take it.
Look at that. I mean, Blank is just with a medic by himself holding down 2 doors. He is not afraid of Street Hoops right now. I mean, he is having a really great game.
He really is, and that Uber is there for Healbot, and they're going to try and get in on that right side. Defy's going to look to get a jump. He gets his flash, jumps on in. The rest of the team looks at that. They have to focus down this heavy. There's also a sniper. Paragon switches back to Scout. And some cap time coming out as Blink takes out Ash on the point. Blaze is in a 1v1. 2v1 on these Scouts. Not going down. He actually takes out Paragon. Now he's got a clear shot at the med. These Scouts are just going all over the place, doing a lot of work for AG. And let's see. Do we think that Skyroll and his heals can stop this aggression? And it looks like Joe's going to have to back off with 40 HP, and the rest of AG are just going to do the same exact thing as they know Kozin's about to get that Uber, and if they don't kill him soon, they're all going to die. And once these spawns come up, I'm expecting a push out of Street Hoops.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have to. I mean, it's pretty like they just displayed to us. They can hold last for as long as they want. I mean, the other team had an Uber advantage. All they did was run a heavy, and then they won that last engagement. Here they come to the left.
Yeah, coming in from the left, taking out that demo very quickly. Nicely done with that Uber, but their Uber is off now. They have to get in there and get frags very quickly, and as I say that, Paragon takes out Defy underneath the bridge, and AG's got to back off through middle, but they're going to get cut off underneath by the players. Doesn't matter. Quickly taken out by Blaze and Basic, And now the Uber advantage is back in favor of AG. This is a leapfrog and a half that we're witnessing. And
Really
it is
is.
some fun stuff. This is still the first round, everybody. I'm not going to say how much time has gone yet because ESEA hasn't told me. But this Uber advantage is probably going to mean that this point is going to AG, and they know that they have very little time to get in and take out Kozin before his Uber is off. And that pop comes in through the main door. The soldiers, the scout, they jump in, run in, all of this stuff. And now there's good cap time. It's about half down for AG, but that Uber comes out of Kozin. Nicely done staying alive and getting it. Now everybody has to run away yet again for AG. They're just like running a track right here. Can Healbot get away? That is what we have to think about right now, as he is getting chased by quite a few people.
Man.
The answer is no. Deadbolt takes him out. A little bit of a crater. Actually, I think he might have hit his kill bind. But yeah, this point's going to go to Street Hoops. There's some action on mid now, too.
I can't think of a better game to get you reacclimated to NA TF2 than this one. I mean, this is just constant fighting. It doesn't even seem like this is amazing. I love watching TF2 like this.
This is a lot of fun. It's like an invite match, to be honest. There's not many mistakes going on left and right.
Well,
And like we said, no, don't give me that, all right? Let's give these guys some credit. We're seeing a good match.
oh no,
And,
it's excellent.
Yeah, it really is. And like we've said before, Kozin wants to take his guys in through the alley, because if you try to push through choke, there's just way too many like places to get spammed out, sticky traps, have to pop it. Not much ground you can take. But at the same time, if you keep pushing alleyway every single time, you get a little bit predictable. And it looks like they're going to say that to themselves as they take it in right through the choke.
Got the granary wraparound.
Yeah, the greenery wraparound. They're just going to take their Uber right into the combo of the other team. And it works out brilliantly as they kind of baited AG onto the flank side and then just turned around, hightailed it in, and came right behind them, took them all out. And now we see all of them down for another 5 seconds.
Yeah, that is some Highlander coordination right there.
Absolutely. All the spawns are coming up right now, but it's
Look
not going to
at
matter.
this.
As
I mean, that round.
eSports.
Yeah, that round for AG was, in my opinion, that round for AG was phenomenal. They showed so much discipline, so much Uber control, and they just did a really good job of everything. But at the last second, and like you said, these fights are going on for so long, and that's where the mistakes come in. Initially getting into the fights and starting them, AG is doing a phenomenal job. Just at the second part of the fight, they're making a few mistakes, and then it's going the other way.
Yeah, it's tough, you know, like when in a game where every mistake is tough, like TF2, it's really hard to come back from, and we're seeing that. Blaze gets that first pick on the middle fight, as Basic also takes out Kozin. Nicely done. There are now no heals for Street Hoops, and a lot of heals for AG, so they're just going to be able to hop on this point and cap it up. The bomb coming in from Lutsu isn't able to do much, and now I think at this point, Street Hoops is just losing players. Paragon's still in there. He's down to 60 HP. He can't take them all out himself. Defy takes him out. And I'm really questioning the decision to send everybody back in there, as now the second point is also going to be freely capped by AG.
I mean, that's a good point. The second point is free now. However,
but they did take out, Healbot
exactly.
went down, so that's what they were trying to do, and they accomplished that. But you know, high risk, high reward type of thing that could have cost them the round, maybe, but it didn't.
Well, it could be argued that AG could have taken that. If they didn't kill Healbot, AG just could have taken that Uber to last, you know?
Yeah.
So they did save a bunch of face there.
Yeah. The aggression's not going to stop here. Joe goes down. That's their demo for AG, so they're not going to be able to do much off this. Blaze goes down as well. There are 3 people dead for AG, and now Kozin wants to take him under the lobby area, and they're going to walk in right through Val. Look at that ramp, and they're not seeing many players. Yeah. Ash might be wall hacking here because he just called out the roamer. That was incredible.
Accusations midstream, everyone.
Accusation midstream. I don't know.
Make a thread right now.
Make a thread right now. No. Really good awareness from Ash to spot Defy before he was able to do anything. And then they spot the Stickies in lobby too. So, you know, these guys are just, they know what's up. They have to worry about spies in Highlander, alright? This is literally nothing in comparison. Their Uber, again, like we said, they don't want to be too predictable, so it looks like they're going to try and go in. They're not baiting anything. They might have a pick on the demo here as the Uber goes off in lobby. Uber is there for Healbot, though. Blank goes down. The Uber's still not popped by Mike. It's still not popped, down to 25 HP. This is the best milk I've ever seen, as his team's just cleaning everything up.
Wow.
Joe takes out Lutsu. Soldier comes into him. Literally balls of steel.
Yeah, MVP by that round, definitely by that engagement, definitely was Mike. I mean, he did. I mean, not only did he not die, he did not pop that Uber even, and he was getting bombed multiple times. He was doing a great job dodging there. That was excellent, excellent play.
Right,
And
he actually.
yeah,
he
on the
walked
other side
into
for
the
Street
Uber.
Hoops, the pocket that came in was a little bit less effective with an Uber than you would normally want. He focused like 3 people instead of just the demo that you thought he was going to pick. And that kind of opened them up for for AG to make that kind of a play against them. But it was a really solid engagement.
Yeah, it was a really solid engagement, like you said. Well done to Mike. But I don't know. By the time they push in, which is right now, it looks like that Uber comes off for AG. The Uber is now there for Street Hoops, and they're gonna have to back off again. They have an advantage now if they build hard, though. Defy's not able to get out, and Paragon comes in with that Uber. 2 shots blank, takes out Joe. Paragon is taking out everybody as Mike is all alone, takes out basic 4K for Paragon. Literally, Paragon and Deadbolt carrying the team right there, killing everybody. The 2 twins sitting next to each other. They're definitely throwing off some high fives. Absolutely amazing to watch that. I'm glad I saw every second of that, and I hope it was on stream. And Street Hoops is going to walk in. Mid is capping right now, finally capped, and Ash takes out Joe. No demo for AG. Ash takes out Blank again. These guys are getting multiple frags everywhere I look. And
Yeah.
2 is now going to go.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of. I mean, but like you said, like you don't need to analyze how well these scouts are doing. They are doing phenomenally well for Street Hoops, and it's surprising to me how AG. I mean, you don't want to give up that second point because you don't want to be in a situation where you want to hold last. But AG is losing a lot of frags to just like sending 1 or 2 people into second to defend instead of doing anything with coordination. So let's see how that turns out.
Right, the Uber advantage is there for Street Hoops, but they can't really do too much with it. They had about a 40%, kind of let it waste, but we'll forgive them this time. Never again. That is, casters are allowed to say that. I see the advantage, and as I say that, Blaze takes out Kozin, and he drops to a headshot. What's going to happen now? AG's going to walk right in as Street Hoops has to back off because the Uber is there for Mike, and if anybody shows their ugly heads, he will pop that and kill all of you. So, they know that. They have to back up. Ash takes out 5, but Basic quickly shuts down Ash as well. That's 2 picks and an Uber in favor of AG, and they want to get into mid very quickly. They've got an 80% Uber advantage right now. Tons of time to work with. Those spawns are coming up for 3 seconds, and then they have to still get there. So we're going to see a lot of aggression coming out. This is NATF2, and like you said, I am loving every second of it. And this aggression is just pushing them right out of lobby, and freely the mid cap goes to AG. They've still got a 40% advantage, though. So if they go quick, they can destroy a lot of people with this Uber. And it looks like they're taking their time. Yeah. See, by the time they go in now, the Uber's going to be there for Street Hoops. And we're going to have to see more leapfrog, and I don't know. Or Mike just won't pop. Mike has done that quite a few times.
Yeah, it's going to be significantly harder to not pop on the way to second, but, who knows? Here they go.
Yeah, like you said, significantly harder, but as soon as you go up that flank side, it becomes significantly easier, and Defy is able to force that Uber with the help of Basic, and now they have that full Uber advantage, and it is finally popped underneath to save Blank, and the scouts are getting in there. The Uber is about to wear off as Mike needs to be trying to find an exit now, but Joe is able to take out those, and Paragon shuts down Blaze, though. Now Paragon's going to come back in here, and let's see if he can kill everybody yet again. No, he's going to press tab really quick and notice that 3 of his players are down, and that means that AG is going to relentlessly push into your second point and maybe cap it. So, a lot of crazy stuff going on. Kozin is just spawning now. That's going to mean a 45% Uber advantage for Mike, who's having the game of his life, I think.
And you predicted it. He didn't pop on that push. I mean, they just overloaded the flank and sent the roaming in. They popped and Mike didn't. I mean, that is beautiful. That is just basic TF2 done so well.
Yeah, Mike has just shown, you said discipline earlier. I think it might be a little bit of insanity, to be completely honest. I've just seen some crazy stuff going on from him, but it's working, and now we see AG trying to push into this last. There is a heavy and a sentry, though, and that's never good news. There's actually a heavy, a sentry, and a sniper as this Uber comes in, and that cap time is going to AG. This round quickly goes because none of those classes are very fast, and they can't really kill people once the sentry goes down. And, and weird hold. Very weird hold. I've never seen that. It's 1-1 now. It's all tied up. There's, I'd say, about roughly Actually, ESEA tells me, yeah, there's 11 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this half, and
Wow.
1-1 game. So
It feels
this-
like we've watched almost an entire match. We're getting a lot of content here.
Yeah, I talked about how the hour-and-a-half long matches for EU kind of upsets me, but this is a great match, and I love every second of it, as it looks like Joe's going to be faster to mid than the enemy Demo Man, and that just means that the aggressive Street Hoops mid fight is going to come onto him a lot faster, and he goes on very quickly. Everybody else, Blaze, nice plays, takes out Lutsu, takes out Paragon, and now AG has a chance in this, as both teams still have healed, but that Uber advantage is there for Mike, so that's going to come into play very soon. But as I say that, Blank and Blaze come in and take everybody out. Kozen gets a saw. Doesn't even matter, because Blaze is incredible.
And they're not even twins, and they have that kind of synergy.
That's
Look at that.
Well, I think there are also... See, most of AG, in my opinion, is insane. So that insanity is just... it's clicking. It's pretty nice, you know? There's a lot of beauty. It's kind of like Vincent Van Gogh and... who's some other crazy artist, you know, working
Most
together.
artists.
Well,
You could just name another one, and that would work out pretty well.
I don't think I know any other ones. That's the problem. Maybe Picasso? That could be it.
That's an artist.
Picasso. Yeah, Van Gogh and Picasso. That's what they are from now on. And that Uber advantage, because Van Gogh and Picasso came in and took everybody out with their insanity, is very, very large for AG, and they're going to opt to take it in that underside, take out Ash, and pop that Uber on both their scouts. There are some frags in there, but they're going to walk into that main shutter door and find a sentry gun, as it looks like they were called out on exactly what they were going to do.
Yeah,
Beautiful
I mean,
sentry
that's some Highlander strats right there. I mean, they didn't even win mid completely, and there's already a level 3 at last.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like man, they're showing their roots here.
Yeah, that last hold in the previous round, they're doing it again, or they were, the Sniper, NG, and Heavy. But these guys are just damn good at all these classes, and that Heavy is definitely a force to be reckoned with. And Kozen wants to maybe push out here. He knows he has the Uber advantage. He's gonna move out that left side. He pops the Uber. It was not exactly the best pop he could have had, but it doesn't matter. AG still didn't have that Uber. There is a scout on him now. He gets a saw. Can he get away? 30 HP. Blaze ain't able to take him down. He jukes him with that little circle spinny thing.
Yeah. Not only did he like out juke plays, he got an Uber saw off him too. I mean, that was a phenomenal play.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need actually after less than an amazing Uber. So that advantage isn't going to be too much. AG knows they do have it though, so they're going to pop in through that left side and meet that Heavy as he gets in the face of Joe and just shuts him down basic on the point. Gets half cap time, but is shut down quickly. And Blaze just coming on that left side, taking out Lutsu. He's going to opt to very smartly run away now and build with his medic, but there's no build time here because Street Hoops has Uber, and they are coming in hot, ladies and gentlemen, as they take that their Uber right into lobby and just shut everything out, shoot the scouts away. They're getting on to the point, but at the same time, they're not getting enough aggression onto Mike, and if you're not careful, he backed up, but he could have just stayed there and built up that Uber right there, because there was no aggression on him at all. And, with scouts like Blaze and Blank, there's something a little bit to worry about, but they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, and, absolutely.
But yeah, it was a wise choice to back off. The cap had just gone to Street Hoops, and now the Ubers have evened out on mid, so we're probably going to see Defy, who just got his buff, do some crazy stuff. He's actually, I don't know, he might go back and get another buff. But
yeah, we'll see. If they agree
yeah.
with your brand at TF2, the bus has been parked. But we're gonna see, oh nope, are they gonna try to go for it? No.
They might just, the leapfrog is the thing, and it looks like they're gonna try and do that, as like we've seen before. Defy jumps in, tries to force the Uber, and Mike tries to stay as far away as possible and never pop. But it's not working this time, as Kozen does not take much damage and does not have to pop. That means that AG is just dying, and now they have to run away. As Kozen actually does pop. I completely missed that. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Shwan, take it over.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, actually, Kozen was doing his best Mike impression. He was so close to not having to pop, and then at the very last second, he just had to. And speaking of popping, we have the red team popping AG, and they're going into... It looks like they're sending maybe people multiple ways. We have one scout going into the flank here, but it looks like things are dying down. And he's trying to get out. He's going from under, reconnects with the medic, and you know what? Insanity, still alive and well in the AG scouts. They're still going in from under. I don't know what's going on anymore. Blue team decided to put their medic down to under, but they're getting flanked by Joe, who is on top of the medic, and I believe he picked the medic. That is insane. And Joe's just gonna die after getting 2 picks from behind as a flanking demo. What an excellent, excellent, excellent job by Joe. I mean, like, that is just such a insane play to keep in theme with what we're talking about tonight. And AG's gonna get a second after that. And Blue, Street Hoops, already up on that NG. Let's see what level that sentry is.
That's
1.
level
I'm
1 now.
disappointed.
I am too. I mean, you know, come on, you Highlander players, you got to get your heads in the game and have that sentry up, you know, before the mid-fight even happens. Just kidding. Just kidding. You love you guys. And AG with that big uber advantage comes in on that left side, but they're going to meet that sentry heavy and sniper yet again. And not able to do too much. Defy takes out the sentry, but not much focus fire going on elsewhere as that heavy is just tearing everything apart. And AG is shut down very quickly going into last. Mike has got to run away. He's got a scout on him. He's going in. He dodges everything. He's not even like, I don't think he was trying to dodge that. He's just going in, trying to kill people, dodges all the damage. But he does finally go down, and 100% uber advantage in favor of Street Hoops. And they're probably going to get mid off of that.
Yep, they're definitely going to get mid off of that.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get mid off of that.
But you can't count out AG's insanity here, though. You know, maybe they'll defend.
Precisely, yeah. Oh my god, thank you for reminding me. Joe's bomb was spectacular, and just it came at such a perfect time because his team was really being pressured, and nice air shots out of Ash onto Joe. But
Joe forgot that he wasn't a roamer there. I mean, that won't happen again. Next time.
Next time, yeah. That's not gonna really mean too much. Second is gonna go to Street Hoops, but AG's gonna get their spawns, and they might contest here. Doesn't look like they're gonna. Scout's kind of peeking it, Blank's looking, he's saying, I kind of want to go in, but he's not gonna do it. And he backs up as they have the uber advantage, so they know they're pushing here. They've got
look at this, AG
advantage.
has no heavy, no NG. They're only rocking the sniper, and even he's gonna switch to Scout as soon as possible. Interesting, the differences in strategies depending on where you come from, and we'll see which one works out better. I mean, Street Hoops is winning right now. We've kind of forgotten because it feels like it's been an hour, but nope, they're still winning.
They're barely winning. It is a 1-1 game still, and there's got to be about, I'd say, 2 minutes left in the game as Skyroller connects with a nice air pipe onto somebody. I don't even know who that was, but that's not gonna, I'm not even saying anything right. What that's going to mean is that there's no push coming out of AG. They have to back up, and now they are also a man down, and that's their pocket soldier. So Street Hoops might come away with this round win, and that's going to take it into the half. Who knows what's going to happen? They want to go in. Basic is spawning now, but they're coming in with that Uber on the left-hand side. No sentry, no heavy for AG. So they're not going to really meet a brick wall of Russian defense. But they're still not able to do too much as everybody on AG focus fires pretty nicely and is able to keep cap time completely off of it. Blaze takes out Skyroller. Actually, Blank takes out Skyroller, stole that frag from Blaze, and now AG wants to push right out there. They've got that Uber advantage, they've got that man advantage, and the combo for AG is going to pressure that little lobby door there.
Yeah, and AG proving that you were allowed to defend to last without being boring. That is a thing that can happen, and they did it.
Yeah, without being boring. I don't know. With Highlanders really evolved the game, and the fact that we even see 3-off classes on last nowadays it's really exciting to watch.
Yeah. And we got to consider
shifting.
Yeah, and we have to consider the time here. Like we don't know what time is left, but it can't be much, and I'm sure AG wants to get another round in before halftime, so they gotta move.
They do have to move. I'm going with my gut feeling. There's probably about a minute left at this point as this round started. With 11 minutes and 20 seconds left, I believe. And this is only the third round. So this has been a hell of a game. Very exciting. 90 points for Kozin. He's having a great game. And the scouts for Street Hoops, too, are just going out of control. As that Uber is popped in by Street Hoops. They force the Uber.
Oh.
That's something we haven't seen too much, but nobody's going to die. As Kozin just drops right through the drop down and escapes very, very quickly into safety. As I say that, Ash takes out Blank. Defy goes down as well to Ash. Deadbolt's able to take out Blaze, and 2 are left alive for AG. So they know how much time is left on this clock. And ooh, nice Uber saws coming out of the heal bot.
And I don't know if we saw that, but we had that excellent play by Mike. Mike And here's the difference between Street Hoops and AG. Like, if AG wants to push that second, they're gonna bomb Defy and they're gonna get them to pop that Uber. What Street Hoops is doing is they're just saying, okay, we're gonna solo Uber on our pocket, and we're gonna hope that he does better than AG's pocket, and that's not always the case. And what's interesting is that when Mike had such a better Uber, that he got in front of the door as to where Street Hoops wanted to exit, and got a frag on, and enabled his team to get a frag on Street Hoops' pocket soldier. It was a really, really good medic play.
I didn't see that. But as you finish talking about how good Mike is, he's really, really good. That Uber comes in for Street Hoops Esports. Basic is the only one left alive, and it looks like they're going to take this round. And we're going to find out how much time is left now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But I think that is going to take it into the half. Yeah, GH is sent out, and the half will be ending very, very, very soon. 31 seconds remaining in this half is what ESEA tells me, so we can just, you want to do this mid-fight? Do you want to do this?
You know what? I'll try.
Alright, go for it.
Alright, I thought it was halftime, but maybe
You gotta
not.
be quick, you're almost out of time.
Well, are you sure it's not halftime?
No, it is not halftime.
Okay. Oh, it's 30 seconds. They're just sticking around. Because I was wondering, because AG's not at mid. So I was like, why are they not going to mid? Is it halftime? And then, no, there's 30 seconds left in the half. That's why there's not.
And
there's
there's
the
halftime
round.
right there.
Okay, okay. ESEA is confusing me.
That was an exciting half of TF2.
You know the problem was? They were calling good half before it was over. Threw me for a loop, man.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah, that was exciting. I mean, that is constant action. You are guaranteed to lose your voice by the end of tonight. I mean, there's no way that you're going to stop talking here because there is just constant action. I mean, what are you going to say? Like, there's no, at no point, like, we can't go in there and start analyzing what they're doing because it just never stops. They're always fighting for every little bit of ground. It's really fun to watch. I'm not sure if it's necessarily the best TF2, but God, is it entertaining.
Yeah, it is incredibly entertaining. Leapfrogging Ubers is just one mistake. It just throws everything off. I kind of want to get these logs up and see what's going on as they are on stream right now. So let's analyze those logs. Like you said, we haven't done much analysis. I like analysis. Because I want to hear my buddy Shwan speak.
Yeah, I mean, so let's look at these stats here. What do we got? We have Blaze. Oh, man. Is he top fragging there? Yeah, top fragging with Blaze with 26. Way more frags than everyone else. And you know what? That doesn't seem that surprising because, like we said, Blaze was doing really well with his scout partner Blank, and they're just focus firing incredibly well constantly. And it's not surprising that he has 26 kills. And not only is he top fragging on his team, but he's also the most wise in the server. So he's doing an excellent job there.
Yeah, you know. One thing that stands out to me is, you know, Kozin has just 16 Ubers in one half is really impressive. 8 deaths. Both him and Mike are playing absolutely incredibly, and really, like, they're making this such a fun game to watch. When a medic stays alive through each fight, you know, it just allows more fighting, you know? More fighting, more heals to be distributed, and we're just seeing some quality medic plays left and right from both.
Yeah, and I think the other interesting thing is if you look at Street Hoops and you look at Ash's damage, I mean, AG really doesn't come close to that. I mean, like Blaze is top fragging the server, Ash and probably the other soldier are top damaging the server for both teams. And, you know, AG really doesn't have those kind of damage numbers on their soldiers, which is a little interesting to me because we didn't talk about Ash that much, but it looks like he really, he pulled it out there. I mean, that is a lot of damage. He outdamaged his demo, if I'm correct here. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's pretty hard to do.
It's the curse of the roamer. We haven't noticed it, but he is doing a ton of work. He's top damaging first, and he is a roamer. That's incredible. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the fact that Blaze is on the other team, he's playing as best as he possibly can, because Blaze is a hell of a roamer. But he's playing scout here, and like you said, he's top fragging. He's doing a lot of work for his team. The damage numbers for AG are kind of lacking, and that's a big reason as to why they're behind in this game. I think is they're being out-fragged by 15, a little under 4,000 damage is the deficit here as this half is going live. And who do you think I should watch right here?
I think we should watch Ash. we're not giving him enough time, man. You gotta watch him.
I think you are right. That is a great thing. See, I love you, Shwan. I really do.
I love you too.
Skyroll is the faster demo. Actually, he is not the faster demo here, as the colors have swapped. We see Street Hoops on the red side. Ash is going to jump onto that crate. The same exact thing as we watched Defy the Roamer for AG do last time. And he is able to spot that soldier and stop his jump. His basic is taken out very quickly by Ash. Good call to watch him, as the rest of Street Hoops eSports is going to collapse around. They see that soldier behind them, and he's able to take down their demo man, but he is quickly cleaned up by Deadbolt, and that mid-fight was won very fast by Street Hoops eSports.
I feel like we just kind of discovered the secret to Street Hoops. I feel like we've stumbled upon what is actually happening here. Yeah, like, we've been talking about, you know, the scouts are twins, you know, the medic's really good at calling, the engineer's good at building sentries, but, like, we weren't talking about how good Ash was playing. I mean, he opened that entire mid up for his team.
Yeah, he really did, and it's great to see that for Roamer. This is a great map for Roamer, and like you said, the NG's building NGs. We got Blaze on Engineer. NG's building sentries. What is... Blaze is on Engineer right now as he upgrades his sentry to a level 2. So that's some quality building that we see going on, as both teams are stalemating it out, and they have the Ubers are even, but it looks like Joe's kind of overextending here. Paragon, he almost took him out there, but he's just going to sack for a sniper, and AG wants to push off of that sack, but their demo is down to 11 HP, and I don't think that Mike realizes that, as they're not going to be able to push off that. Paragon is going to come up sniper, without a doubt. That was definitely a sack play, and yeah, he does come up sniper.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? If I was AG, I might have wanted to push out on Paragon, because he's doing, like Ash, he's doing a lot of work on the scout class, and, you know, maybe you want to push out on that kind of thing, or at least send Defy in and see what he can do. You know, sack one yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, Joe he lost a lot of health there. He went down to 11 HP, and you can't really push like that because you know, demos are fat, and it's easy to hit him. So even if you're healing him up, if he's 11 HP, it's gonna take a while to get up to 100, and one shot can kill him. Especially with that pain train. That weapon is like ridiculous, ain't it?
Yeah.
Whoa! Basically goes down to a headshot from Paragon as soon as that door is open.
That's funny, because I was just about to ask you if we should watch the Highlander sniper. I was just about to say it.
I actually was thinking it too, but I didn't switch to him as that Uber comes in. Popped a little bit earlier by Kozin, but he's flashing a little more than Mike is, and not much comes out of that push other than 3 deaths for Street Hoops, and the Uber advantage has even swapped sides now. But Ash, yet again, is just sitting there waiting for somebody, and he takes out one of the scouts for AG, but AG's still going to be able to get onto that second point.
And they didn't even use their sentry. That's so disappointing. The sentry was under the main bridge, and no one ran into it at all. Didn't even shoot a bullet.
Fire?
No. Well, I might have fired a little
Blaze.
bit. Yeah. Not as good as Engineer as the other people.
No, they're too good. They're too good at this game, to be completely honest. Highlander impresses the living hell out of me, and these guys are really showing that Highlander is competitive TF2, as they are just doing a great job. Haven't we had a Highlander team? We do actually have a mixture of a Highlander team. And Invite this season, 6 cuties, consists of Bronze and Pharaoh. They're on BPM,
True.
Baby Punching Marathon.
Oh man, is that what that stands for?
Yeah, Baby Punching Marathon.
Okay, alright, did not know that. Keep that in mind.
That's my favorite team name of all time, to be completely honest. And AG, Blaze gets up on that little like catwalk type of wall thing. Gets a nice meat shot onto the scout. Deadbolt's forced to back off, retreat for some heal. Something is damaging Koza. I'm not really seeing what it is though, as he's regenerating his HP. The heals are definitely there for Street Hoops.
Yeah, and if this was AG pushing second, they would have bombed Defy by now, but they didn't, and instead, they just popped that solo Uber. This is the same exact thing they did last time. And the pocket ult does absolutely nothing. AG has a much better Uber, and they end up picking him in the end. And now they have a one-man advantage. You're going into mid, and Street Hoops is clumped right now, but it doesn't look like AG's really acting on it here. They really should be going a little bit faster than this. But they're in the flank right now. They're spamming, but when you're sitting at mid, you do have high ground, so there's got to be a big play by Defy here. And there it is. He's getting him out of the point, and they're completely flushed out now, from low ground to high ground to a successful mid cap. It looks like, as long as they don't get greedy.
Greedy might be what they're getting right now, as they're kind of trying to poke their heads into that big door side. And AG counters that by sending their combo that way. But Street Hoops is already out. They're back on their 2. They're building their Uber, and they do have that advantage I'm not sure that they're going to be able to push out with it. They might not realize that they have that very slight advantage. Yeah, they don't realize it. And AG is going to be able to get their Uber. And we've seen them opt to go under or flank much more. I don't think they've gotten choke once with their Ubers. But that beam is on the choke side. Actually, I lied to you. That beam is being faked. Basic is sitting there juking everybody as that Uber is going to be coming in on the alleyway side. Defy gets in onto Kozin, gets him down to 10 HP. He's taken out. And AG is, they're not going to be able to get in. Yeah, they've dropped too many players. Now they have to back out. And Street Hoops wants to cut them off. They're a little slow, not able to cut them off on the retreat from Alley. But doesn't really matter as they still have numbers. And no Pocket Soldier for AG is bad news. As these Ubers are even. Pocket Soldiers make Ubers. And
this is really odd. I mean, we have the blue team holding way back at mid. Or
and
AG
the red
holding
team
way
not
back at
pushing.
mid, and red is just not pushing. And they were man down. Red just kind of, or not red, sorry. We got Street Hoops just kind of in the flank, not doing much, and just waiting for AG to get Basic back alive. And now here he is. And what do you think's going to happen? Mike's going to go to the flank. You know, Basic's going to bomb and hopefully get from the pop. If not, they're going to back up. You know, speaking of, here we go. Here's the bomb. Is he going to pop? Doing the best Mike impression he can, and he doesn't pop. Excellent Mike impression, I would say. And they're still fighting on the flank here. And we got Basic going down, and we got a really good bomb by Ash here, and he does get the almighty Mike to pop the Uber. But it is just Mike and Joe here, so that's probably not going to turn out too well as we have a bomb going out, and Joe's only a matter of time before Joe goes down here, and he does. So that was an excellent repush by Street Hoops, and you know, the tried and true strategy of doing exactly like I thought they would do did not work that time, so maybe they have to rethink a few things here.
Yeah, they actually changed something up there. They sent Basic in with Defy on the bomb, and that's kind of, you know, 3 people were in there taking a lot of damage trying to force an Uber, and that put the rest of their team in no man's land because, you know, with those heals there, and Kozin, like you said, best Mike impersonation that he could possibly do, and held onto that Uber forever. He was down to 10 HP yet again. He just does not pop. Balls of steel left and right. And,
they have 100% advantage here. I mean, they need to be going. What are they waiting for?
They do need to be going, and they're just not doing it. You know, there's no NG for AG, but if there was, this would be trouble. That Uber finally does come in on the left side, and Joe is taken down very quickly. Nice focus fire by Street Hoops as they get a little bit of gap time and are forcing AG to the point. The rest of Street Hoops takes out everybody as they run there, and Blaze is the only one alive, kicking himself as he is sent up into the air, not able to do anything. That is 3-1 Street Hoops eSport, and that's a fast round as opposed to what we're used to.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like Street Hoops isn't letting them like do their nonsense to them at second anymore. They are stopping that, and they are rolling through the rest of the map. I think if AG are gonna get more rounds, they gotta figure out that second point and maybe mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, Joe has been considerably faster than Skyroll just about every mid. And we see both roamers again set up in their usual spots on that right crate as Joe's retreating for his help. No demo there for AG is bad news. The Basic's able to take out Deadbolt. Skyroll that takes out Joe. Kozin goes down to a Basic bomb with that shotgun. But as I say that, 3 players go down for AG very quickly. And doesn't matter. That insanity. Blank and Blaze. Van Gogh. And who was it? Picasso. That's it. Van Gogh, Picasso.
Let's just say Monet, because that's an invite team, you know? Let's keep it in-house here. We got Van Gogh and Monet.
Van Gogh and Monet, yes. We're able to take out everybody as we see AG walk in through that choke point onto 2 to find absolutely nobody because the fear of God has been struck into Street Hoops eSport. And I can't do that for much longer, Shwan.
Is their name actually Street Hoops eSport? Okay, it is. All right. I thought you were making that. I thought you were adding eSports at the end because that'd be hilarious, but it's not a joke. So
we've got Street Hoops eSports and AG eSports. AG eSports is going to take their Uber into the left side, but they're going to find that heavy, no sentry gun this time, as they're going to opt to hold on to that scout. But Ash goes down very, very quickly. Skyrolla and Lutsu take out Defy and Blank. So much damage is being put out. All that damage directed towards AG, as just Mike is left alive, running for his life. Lutsu is on him. He wants to get him. Knocks him into the wall. Mike doesn't go down that easily, and Lutsu's gonna have to retreat. Mike gets away.
And Street Hoops did a really phenomenal job of not popping the Uber again. I mean, they had that heavy, and AG they just can't pressure them enough, to get Kozen to pop that Uber. He popped a really late Uber, which was perfect, and they took advantage of it, and they won the last point so decisively that they won second as well. And now we're going to look to see how they're going to push in the mid here. They do have an advantage, and we're going to see if they're going to take it. My guess is, as good as Ash is, I feel like it's going to be a pocket play on this Uber because that's what it's been every single time. So let's figure it out here. We have a little bit of fighting going on at the flank with the scouts and the roaming soldiers, but we have a little bit of an unfair advantage here for AG because the rest of their team comes in, but we have the Cranberry wraparound and the Uber pop by Kozen, and I don't think... Yeah, Mike still has an Uber and he hasn't popped it because he's Mike, and they're taking the second point back.
The Thigh comes in and takes out Kozen, and Deadbolt actually hit the shot of the century, I think. Complete, 720 flick shot onto Blaze, and that means that Apocalypse Gaming eSports is going to take this last point, and now it's going to be 3-2. This is a hell of a match, and these rounds are considerably faster than that first half, so maybe they're a little scared and they need to get these rounds fast because this is the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me tell you, it always feels good when you wrap around the wraparound. But when that happens and it's successful, you feel really good about it. And AG did a really great job.
Yeah, Apocalypse Gaming eSports just took control of that last push. I can't do that seriously. We're gonna watch Deadbolt here as a lot of aggression coming out. Mike goes down very early to a bomb from Ash. And Lutsu, as well, both soldiers bombed into it, and now Kozen is putting on the jukes. Deadbolt hits himself with that sword. The 3-rune blade has proved ineffective here, and that is a very big reason as to why Blank was able to pistol the both of them down. He was bleeding to death, ladies and gentlemen. You never like to see that. And now we've got a Blank versus Skyroller duel, and I'm a little too late for the show there. Blank takes him out before I'm finished talking, and he just won that mid-fight for his team.
And you know what the worst part is? That entire time I was trying to make a Witcher reference, and I couldn't. I love the Witcher and the 3-rune blade, but I couldn't remember if that was a silver sword or a regular sword, so I was going to make some sort of, monster versus human joke, but I couldn't remember which one, so I have no idea what to even tell you, because I spent all my mental capacity trying to remember what the 3-rune blade actually was, so I have to apologize for you.
Well, it's the Boston Basher, you see. And we're going to see new push coming out. Actually, no. The colors have swapped. Whatever. The Uber comes in the normal way for AG, and they get a lot of frag. That's new. That hasn't happened each time. They caught Street Hoops completely off guard by taking that Uber quickly up that ramp. And everybody has gone down for Street Hoops. This point is going to go. The combo is moving up for AG right now, and those spawns are coming up as they get in. There is no Uber. This is a dry push and no pocket for them as well. A lot of cap time. Paragon's able to stop that cap, but he gets meat shot by Blank. And we have a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that is 3-3.
Yeah, and like I said, AG had to mix it up to get that second. They mixed it up, and they did a dry push. And even though doing a dry push is normally a bad idea, it worked out in their favor that time.
Yeah, that dry push, it would have been incredibly easy if they were a little bit faster, but they weren't, and they got in there as the spawns came in, like you said. We're going to watch Blank, because last mid, he went absolutely massive. He sees that demo. He wants to get him. He sees that bomb coming in, too. That bomb falls down onto the point in front of him, and he is taken down very quickly by a nice rocket from Ash and a shot from Paragon, but Defy is in there and he wants to get Kozen, not able to do it. Mike is running for his life. He's got a scout on him, gets a saw. I don't know if that hit. I think it did. He gets another saw and he takes out Paragon. Oh. But his brother Deadbolt comes in and he says, it's okay, bro. I got you. Pats him on the back. And that mid goes to Street Hoops.
Do you think they play next to each other? Probably not.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I have no idea if they play next to each other.
So.
I'm just hoping. I'm hoping beyond belief that they play next to each other and are just patting each other on the back whenever things like this happen. And
they're playing next to each other and they just share one microphone.
That's the greatest comms. You know how some scouts have comm, they talk to each other, whisper bind and mumble. Yeah. They don't need that. No. They just have the same mic.
Yeah.
Same
I
dual
picture
booting.
that. I'm just having a hard time now. Keep my composure.
Yeah. The Uber is going to come out from Street Hoops, and Kozen is shot forward, which is actually a very advantageous position for him. And that cap time is going pretty strong. But the rest of AG is going to collapse onto the point and get the frags onto it as Ash and Deadbolt go down. And Cozen is now in no man's land. He's got to run for his life, but he is going to be chased. I don't know who's chasing him. It's probably Blaze. It is Blaze. Blaze is able to take down Cozen. Now he sees Skyroll. Skyroll is down to 50 HP. He is in that red. Both scouts are looking at him, and they're insane. We've talked about this. 76 HP. He's able to take out Blank, though. Blank goes on him. Doesn't get the job done. The Mudman. This clown. What is he doing?
Now they're one down for
What
the
is
mid
doing?
retake, man. They have 100% advantage, but they don't have Blank due to insanity.
What a clown.
Yep.
I'm just picturing, you know, clown minds left and right. As I love Blank. He is a great guy. He's having a great game. He is spawning right now. And he's going to be there for this mid push. Not hold. And Street is going to have to back off because Mike has that Uber. I'm just messing around, by the way, when I said Blank's a clown. Blank's a damn good player. And his death meant absolutely nothing there. So I'm just, you know, having a good time. A little bit of a call out.
Yeah, his team didn't need him. They pushed it anyway. He's fine.
They didn't need him. He's just Blank. That Uber's going to come in a new way this time for AG as they want to walk up that little pipe area. Blank takes the Uber in and goes around them. Nobody knows that he's there. He comes in, gets some nice shots onto the soldier, and with the help of Defy, takes him down. They have lost Mike, their medic, and Cozen is still alive. They're going to get that Uber very soon. Blaze is in there trying to stop that Uber from ever being a thing in this game. And Blank is now on the med as well, but Cozen doesn't die.
Yeah, not only did he not die, he had the Uber saw out. He was ready to go.
He was ready. He doesn't even care. I'm 91% Uber right now. I can heal for literally 3 seconds and have this Uber, but I'm going to take you on. Doesn't even matter. And it worked as he stayed alive, and now his team is pushing mid, but they lose their demo man. Basic does go down. Joe goes down. Defy goes down. This is looking absolutely beautifully, but Blaze walks in, and so does Blank. Paragon and Ash go down, and now we see a little bit of a fight, but Blank and Mike have to back off. Blank can stay there for a little bit longer, but if he stays for too long, he's gonna die, and that puts Mike in danger as this Uber can literally just be popped on them very quick. And he realizes that and opts to back off to 2. They're gonna have their Uber in time, but I don't know. He took out his Boston Basher there, and there were some people looking at him, so they might know if that was to mean they have an advantage. It's kind of maybe a sign, like saying, "Oh, we should build," but it doesn't matter if they don't push off of it.
And I have to say, like, after those Cozen plays, and at mid, towards the end of mid, he got bombed, didn't get scared and popped the Uber like most medics would have done. He surfs out a rocket way back to safety, lets his team finish it up, and then comes out. And that combined with the frags he's been getting and the communication that he's probably coordinating, I feel like it is now unfair to refer to his good plays as Mike impressions. So I'm no longer of that mentality.
The new heal bot. Literally the new heal bot. And there's a lot of damage going around. His Ash is going down to Joe. Basic takes out Lutsu. CJ on the flank takes out the demo man Sky Rolla. That's going to cue the push coming out of AG, and they're definitely going to get this point. The question here is whether or not anybody from Street Hoops is going to contest, and it doesn't look like they are, because everybody's running back to 2. Hopefully they can get their spawns in time to hold this, but both teams do have Uber, so there is going to be an Uber fight here on this point. Nobody wants to give up a point for free. Blank's gonna get a little aggressive and take a fight on a scout under there, but the rest of his team comes in. Mike has still not popped that Uber. They're kind of just pushing Cozen and Street Hoops out, saying, you know, we want you to pop first because we want to win this game. And that Uber comes out for Cozen much sooner than Mike. Mike's down to 50 HP. He's just not popping. He has not popped that Uber. Blank goes down, but it doesn't matter because the rest of his team is going to walk in with that Uber now, and they take the second point. They've got 2 picks, and now this is a very advantageous spot for them as they're going to just look to push right in before Lutsu gets up. Paragon comes up as sniper. I don't really agree with that. That Uber comes in right now on that left side. We're seeing Mike flash his scouts, flash his soldier. They have to focus that heavy or focus the point. It looks like they want to focus the point, but now that heavy has finally gotten there, and he's going to do a lot of damage. Blaze takes out at. That means that the round is going to go to AG, and they're just really dominating this 4-3 in favor of them.
Wow. I mean, that was absolutely excellent. And for a while there, it looked like they weren't actually going to mid that or win that last push, but they just pulled it out. I mean, Mike is staying alive way longer than he has any business, and he is getting way more heals out than he has the right to, and they're taking advantage of that, and they're just winning DM fights at this point. AG is.
Yeah, the medics for both teams are really just having the games of their lives right now. As we're going to see Joe a little bit, he's in a little bit of a strange position. No frags coming out. Ash actually takes down Basic. Nice Roamer plays. Paragon onto Defy. The rest of Street Hoops is all clumped up over there, so if pills come in, stickies come in, they're all going to take the same damage. As Joe connects with a nice sticky onto Ash. He's going to connect with another sticky onto the soldier, takes out Lutsu. Joe's doing a lot of work, but now these 2 scouts for Street Hoops, I'm sorry, excuse me. Street Hoops are going to try their hardest, but they can't do it.
And the thing is, I mean, Street Hoops got that middle point. They got the high ground there. They had their medic. They had the same amount of people alive as AG did with the high ground, and they lost. I mean, we're seeing a slight, a slight DM advantage in the favor of AG, because really they shouldn't have been able to overtake that mid. I mean, they are just very confident or insane with their DM, and they're just taking it to them. Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of insane, Ash on the engineer. I guess it's not insane at this point. That's worked really well for them. So we'll find out.
Yeah, well, there's not much else you can do, as this last push could be the last push of the game right here, as AG takes that Uber yet again in through that left side. Kozin is on Crits Creek, 75% right now, and he is not dying yet. They have a full crits advantage, but Mike is still up. They're going to try and take him out and get 2, maybe 3 points out of this crits. If they're able to take out Mike here and now, this could be very, very good for them. But it looks like Mike and everybody for AG is way gone, and no frags are going to come out from this crits. And it's okay, though. They still have that advantage. The scouts for AG are going to take out Ash on the flank, and now we're going to see AG maybe think about pushing here because they know they have an Uber advantage. They've got a man advantage, and they're facing a crits Krieg with Uber now.
Yeah,
Kozin could build it faster and shut it down, but it looks like they're going to opt for a dry push. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I mean, the dry push, really good call, because they're not... Wow, look at this. I mean, 'cause they know they can win these DM fights. They're just going for it. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with this dry push, but I mean, like they've shown on multiple points now, they're able to just intimidate the other team, Street Hoops, and push them out of the points at will. And we have the engineer up, we have the heavy up, and we have the sniper up. We have all classes of TF2 represented here. The Uber gets popped out. It's against heavy spam. Oh man, those were the wrong words to pick there.
Yeah, but it's also going against a crits Krieg, and that doesn't usually work out, but right now it is working out incredibly well. As Kozin is able to hold on to that crits until that Uber is nearly off, and some crit stickies everywhere are just taking everybody out. Plays the last one alive. He's able to take out Paragon underneath 2, and now he's going to fight with a soldier. Ash takes him out. Nice rockets on the Blaze.
And I feel like that's another example of just how both medics are not only good, but have excellent Uber coordination. I mean, they had that crits, and you're right, crits versus Uber, that doesn't bode well for the crits, but if your medic is nowhere near the Uber runs out, and then you pop crits, then man, you're going to have a good time like they did. They won that entire last push, and now they're on the mid with it.
Yeah. Going back, we can't really go back right now as there's a lot of action going on mid, as Street Hoops is going to muscle their way into middle and get a pick onto Defy. Actually, he's trying to make something happen. But Kozin has Crits Krieg. He's not going to really, pop that to a bomb. He'll drop that every single time, and they're able to muscle their way in. They do have still that 50% crits advantage. And I want to go back to that last push by, actually the second push by AG, as we're going to have to hold on to this because this crits is about to be popped. I'm never going to get these words out. Skyroller looking for stuff. He sees everybody in the lobby. The crits comes out. Lots of frags are going to come out, but Mike just drops into the drop down and walks away unscathed. Absolutely beautifully done by Mike, but now he's got to go in trying to save his soldier. This might be very bad as he is being sandwiched by a combo. What the hell is Mike doing right now? Okay, Mike finally does go down. Blaze takes out Kozin though. Nicely done, and the back cap by Street Hoops. Oh!
Whew. I mean, it's not often that you catch the team completely off guard, you overtake their entire flank, you have a free crit into the lobby, you know exactly where they are, you get 1 kill only, and it doesn't collapse on you. I mean, they still ended up winning that round, which is insane. I mean, they didn't even kill Mike. Crazy.
Exactly. Absolutely brilliantly done, and even to ignore Mike. So we're going to see Lutsu trying to save his medic Kozin from being taken out, as both soldiers from AG have bombed in and died rather fast. And lots of advantages right now for Street Hoops, as they're going to muscle their way into the alleyway, take out Blank, and now they are all 4 players. A little bit of overkill onto Mike. and
Yeah.
they're just gonna cap this midpoint, and the rest of the team's already on 2. So
Yeah.
they might even take this all the way in. Kozin actually went down, though, and
Yep.
the Ubers are even.
Yeah, so at least AG got the medic, because otherwise, this would be an incredibly dangerous situation. But it doesn't seem like AG is gonna push out because they do have the NG, even though they have a slight Uber advantage. They're building up their defenses at last, learning a few lessons from Street Hoops, using them against them, and well, I don't know what Street Hoops is gonna do in this situation. They seem to do something at last different almost every time, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing something different every last, and we talked about it before. It was when they were even pushing into 2. You never want to be too predictable because you keep doing the same thing. The spam is just going to become so unbearable. And Kozin on this crit streak here has that 15% advantage, and they pop that very early, but there are stickies there that are shot away. Very, very, very nearly a problem there for Street Hoops, and nothing with the crits. Mike actually just gets his Uber, and he's going to want to take this into the lobby. He's going to muscle his way in there. They've got a sentry on last as well, as Blaze is the master engineer right now. And they're going a little bit slow. They do have a man down. Blank is that they're actually not going to push at all.
Yeah, and Street Hoops isn't even expecting them to push. I mean, look how far back they're playing here. Well, I guess they're far back because they want them to push out, pop the Uber,
Yeah.
then they re-engage with their Uber, and that might be
crits.
what we say here. Oh, they're crits. Oh,
Yeah, so maybe HE doesn't care about the crit streak. They're saying, if we just get a good pop onto that, as that crit streak is popped out underneath, takes out Defy. Finally a frag with these crits, but the Uber is popped by Mike and flashing his left and right. Skyroll goes down, and like we said, that battle of a lot of damage versus no damage being taken is usually going to go in favor of the no damage being taken. But we got a back cap going on right now as Deadbolt takes it, and that is the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we see a GG for Street Hoops eSport. Hell of a match. I didn't even see that. I don't know where he got in from. I don't know. There was a sentry on last.
Exactly. There was a sentry on last. How do you back cap last when Blaze is sitting there with a sentry? Man, I really don't know how that's done, but it got done. I mean, and that's how I feel, and that sentiment is how I feel about most of this game, because I really do feel like AG had some better coordination, some more advanced ways in getting into points and holding points, but Street Hoops just kind of got it done. They really, even though I still feel like AG had a DM advantage, Street Hoops just got it done. I mean, that was just phenomenal play, and Kozin showed that his medic play is at least just as good as Mike's, and that was just an excellent game to watch, and I'm glad it was your first NATF2 experience in a while. That was a good one.
Well, it's not my first NATF2 experience.
In a while.
I play NATF2.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying you're casting European stuff.
Oh, yeah. I do way too much of that European stuff. All these accents, they just, sometimes I have to decipher things. But I do love European TF2. It's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun casting here. I'm going to pull up these logs that are now on the stream and see exactly what was done in this match. The first thing I'm noticing is that there are a ton of points. 186 points for Kozin and 160 for Mike. That just means they stayed alive forever. 19 deaths for Kozin and 15 for Mike. Absolutely brilliant game out of the both of them.
Yeah.
And you couldn't ask for more out of your medic, to be completely honest. And
yeah, you really can't.
Your soldiers, your scouts, everything was just going absolutely perfect. Not perfect, but perfect in the situations in the game for Street Hoops. And you talked about it before the game started to me. You were saying, looking at these rosters, it's how does a team like Street Hoops eSports, who are virtually nobodies in the TF2 world, go up against the likes of Blaze and Blank and shut them down? This team moved up from Open last season as they were in the finals last season against Dingo's team, the Italian Stallions, I think was the name of it. And they had a lot of trouble in the final match because there was a lot of lag problems, but they moved up and they're really showing their dominance here, as now they are 9-1 and leading the pack in Main.
Yeah, I mean, that was just super. I mean, they are definitely, without a doubt, a top tier team in Maine right now. that was a really convincing game. More so because it wasn't a wash. I mean, it's one thing when you completely wash another team. It's another thing when you have like such a tight game against such good players and you come out on top. You know, that shows a little that, or for me at least personally, it's a little bit more impressive. And I'm super impressed with Street Hoops eSports. And you know, I'm gonna watch way more of their games now because I didn't know that they were such a force in Maine. It's a really good thing to see. And looking at the damage here, Ash, he didn't top damage the server anymore, but you know he did second damage, and he's a roaming soldier. That is insane. He's just silently doing a lot of work, some blue collar damage there, you know. And although their demo did finally catch up and overtake him, but man, just what a great performance by Street Hoops, and I am incredibly impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. We didn't do predictions, but I'm usually right with my predictions. I did predict
I
5-4
believe you.
in favor of AG. I just didn't tell
Yeah.
you guys because
Well, yeah,
you
I
guys
remember
weren't
when
ready.
you said that before we went live.
Well, yeah. I said it before we
Yeah.
went live, right? And you did too. We're both like brilliant with this, but we charge $5 for psychic, you know, palm readings and all that, and I don't know. I did it again.
What'd you do?
Do you hear what I did? You hear what I did? All right, I'll tell
I think
you
you
what I did.
called teams the wrong team.
I did. I called teams the wrong teams. I said that I predicted 5-4 AG, and that is my first incorrect prediction, actually.
Remember, people, only $5 for psychic readings.
$5, yeah. It's not too much. I don't think we have any interviews lined up.
No,
Do
probably.
we? Does the voice from above know? The voice does not know. Actually, there is no voice. He has abandoned us, ladies and gentlemen.
But no, I mean, I think this finishes it here. I mean, everyone should look out for whenever you see Street Hoops playing. You know, tune in. I mean, they are doing some exciting TF2, and it looks like they're kind of the underdog rising up here, and it's going to be some exciting games from this point on.
I absolutely agree, and those are some beautiful closing words. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been ESEA Week 5. The second match of the week as this closes out Week 5. Tonight was the last night of matches for this week. And we saw, in my eyes, an upset. On paper, it wasn't an upset, as you know, Street Hoops came in with a better record. But in my eyes, this is a big upset, and they really showed their dominance. And thanks for watching, guys. You know, really, we can't have a good competitive game without the viewers. So I'm glad you got to see a good match.
Yeah, absolutely.